Hello, welcome again to Steel Division 2, and today we have a battle between Homer and Onord. Now, this is actually coming off straight off my loss on this very map against this very division versus L. Bowser. And L. Bowser, obviously, strong player, maybe not quite as strong as Onord, Division 2 versus Division 1. But I basically asked Onord what I did wrong after the game. And it culminated in us playing this little match here between for the Fallschirmjäger and the Panzergrenadier Division Großdeutschland. Now, after having flailed against this very division not 20 minutes before, but with first Fallschirmjäger, which was definitely a mistake, one of his recommendations was actually Panzerdivision Großdeutschland. And this is a very interesting deck. It's very armor heavy. Quite a lot of small recon vehicles. These Aufklärpanzer 38Ts are great. Lots of half-track support available. And with a half-track buff, it actually got a lot stronger, in my opinion. And really, this is quite an interesting start, because I just wanted to see if I could do better. I don't really have any hope of defeating Onord in this situation. The fourth Fallschirmjäger is just such an omnipresent division, I would say, that it becomes very hard to really do much. Interesting how lightly he deployed here in the center, though. Though I suppose the same can be said of me, with just the Flammenwerfer being the difference here. And we start things off with our little 2-star infantry push here, supported by the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadierführer. But unfortunately, Onord, being a great player, immediately shuts it down. Panzerstrike at the ready to defeat my Flame Panzer. We've got the AS-42s to kill my infantry. They don't even get into the forest. So this push shut down before it can start. Not much to really do here. I spend the entire game essentially flailing against this, and it really doesn't end well. Fokovov killing the MG there. But it is left on 1 health down here. Killing the Gallic 2. And it's an okay start. Not that great, but Onord is definitely playing more passive here. You could very much push a little harder with little problem. AS-42 providing their AA support. BF-110 coming out. And we already see an early mortar here. These Fallschirmgranatwerfers are absolutely amazing with their mortar pinpoint accuracy, and now it's a bit hard to see exactly what radio range they have, because it is also including my radio range in the whole equation. But very, very deadly, pinpoint accurate. We'll see that shooting, no doubt. I do have my own mortars, though, and they will be coming in here with the Granatwerfer, that's just on the Sonderkfz 251. Couple of Sturmgruppen in the town. These are quite useful in the town, but yeah, you don't necessarily want to be fighting 2 versus 1 with the Perkadusti, but dangerous to be head-oning the BF-110 there, but with the SDKFZ 71, I thought I could risk it. And these Gallics right here, absolutely very deadly. And I didn't quite acknowledge just how deadly they were, but one of the reasons I wanted to showcase this game is just how absolutely annoying these could be in the right situation. And oh man, do they do work for Onord here. More infantry coming in. Once again, trying to bolster up my front line, but they do deploy behind, because I am aware of this AS-420, just unopposed, very powerful unit when rightly supported. And I keep bringing up these 38Ts, but really what I maybe needed was a medium tank to counter this AS-420. The problem with the medium tank is these 38Ts were dying just as much as anything else, and the excellent Panzerschreck micro here in the galley really put on the pressure here. I should be focusing more on mortars. As I did just create this deck, though, there's a fatal flaw, which will become apparent later on in the game. As that mortar It's going to go delete this Bionierführer. Pack so far initiate the Fallschirmjäger. Does notice that, gets it out of there. Kills the Führer. I do have the Befehlpanther there, still providing veterancy to the immediate front line, but you generally don't want to be doing this with the commanders. Really, though, the whole tactic that I'm doing here on this map relies on pushing your opponent off this hill, and it's just not happening. I spend the entire game, or most of it when I'm not fighting elsewhere, trying to prevent some kind of advance here, let alone a counterattack and push back. But if you can push your opponent off this hill, this is a great viewpoint, and one of the reasons why this starting on this side of Slutsk is generally seen as better than the other side. And oh man, AS-420, a single AS-420, the one that survived, the other one going down to the Befehlpanther here, warding off a Focke-Wulf F3. These low resilience Focke-Wulfs, well, when there's no AA, they're great, but as we can see here, the lone 20 mil doing a ton of damage to that. It does escape because it is just a lone 20 mil, but not much we can do about that. Fallschirmjäger shooting at the Sturmgruppe. Not great for me to be allowing that engagement, so I do pull back. Another Pionierführer coming in here. I did take them in with these 20 mils, which was to just give me a little bit more AA to protect this very expensive commander unit down here. And so far, not really paying off. Not with the veterancy, not with anything else. As Onord gets a Gerlich and a Perde and a Panzerschreck in here. Now these Gerlichs, they only have, ooh, what was it? Either 1250 range, I believe, which isn't a lot, but because they do have these like squeeze bore adapters, they're actually, I believe their penetration drop off is much more than a regular mortar, or regular AT gun would be. Counter battering Onord's mortar here. And Großdeutschland is another deck that doesn't have very great air power, so the nag maybe a bit superfluous. HE-111, looking to see what's up north. Just taking a view around town. Right, probably spots my pack, spots the MG. Actually, well, I guess we can just see what Onord sees. And he does see the pack with this HS-111. For some reason, this seems to have a lot better optics than anything else. And he fucking with 190 coming in for that. Sorry about that. Does get the kill on that pack. My own F3 trying to respond while microed by Onord, though. Not allowing that to happen. And we get a 110 coming in. These 110s, I'm not a big fan of them, but they are excellent strafing aircraft, so if you can use them well, certainly an option to take. But the regular fighters in the 4th Fallschirmjäger are also quite excellent, being the Italian ones. Mortar firing away, trying to tell where that Pack 40 is going, and I have to say this Pack 40 just immortal. The retreats are very, very strong, and when a mortar is just shooting like this, you're not going to have a big chance to kill it. Oop. We see here the Befehlpanther. I'm actually trying to pull it back, but it's double teamed. The Panther A Führer and the Gerlich in the side, absolutely shutting it down. I didn't even notice this Gerlich at first, and that will prove to be my undoing. I should have definitely called in a Hummel, called in something. Just shut down this position, absolutely. Even if it's just smoke, but this was a very big mistake, letting that letting that Buffet Panther go down. Especially since I just brought in the second Panther to try and double team this and also kill the pack out. Well, it was stressed out by the mortar. We do see the mortar trying to kill where the Gallic was, but the Gallic actually has pulled back because Onord is a micro god. Now the Gallic coming in, probably looking for that 38T, and we've got my 2-star Panther here, which is actually just a 1-star Panther, upfitted by that Führer that's sitting right there. No longer 3-star due to the commander being gone. Panther though, the Gallic actually getting a crit, and it does go down. But pretty soon, we'll see Onord replacing that. He's got quite a few more left in his deck. Focke-Wulf 190, that tried shooting stuff down over here, and I believe it did eventually ward things off. Making its way around. But it stayed in the air so long that actually it's going to be forced to evac here. I'm manually doing it, but that right there was not a manual evac. I head on the PF-110, and there we see exactly what happens when you try to head on a PF-110. I thought the same thing would happen here because I did have the Flak 43 supporting me, but no such luck, and then it switches targets because I was paying attention elsewhere. Another galley coming up to replace that other one, and once again, my infantry in this area is just whittled down to the point where I can hardly hold it, let alone, you know, try and do a counter push. Just torn to shreds once again. The micro of Onord definitely coming out on top there. Galley coming in, probably going to sneak its way over here. And we see the Pack 40 taking even more mortar rounds and not going down. Jeez. 2 health left. We see a mortar back further back. With the Fallschirmjäger here, this Granatwerfer still has radio range, making it still very deadly. While my radio mortar can't directly counter battery that. I will have to call in something heavier for that, which is not good. Always the benefit of having your leaders farther forward than these right here. Galley gets a kill on the Flammpanzer. But my Pack 40 does, I believe, take down this Stugge M42. Fire an APCR there. Onord still hasn't noticed, apparently, but with that shell, does get the armor crack, and it goes down. Now, Flak feelings right now are currently very buffed, and while it was 2-star, it was actually shooting down quite a few things, but as it is now, another thing that is a little bit over buffed is the resilience on these HE-111s. I believe they do have the very good resilience, which is like PE2 levels of resilience. And interesting to see here a K-18 command. That's something you see a lot with a Maverick deck of for the Fallschirmjäger, but I believe it's often overlooked as this is a big radio howitzer. Now, I'm a big fan of radio howitzers, but they don't seem to be that much of that popular in the meta right now. 2 Panthers, once again up on this hill, trying to give, you know, cover and supporting fire to the town, as I am bringing up some troops for that. But dual Gallics now moving forward, and oh man. Onord's putting together a push-up here and saved up a bunch of income for not only a Nag 37, but also an elephant. And because this elephant here is so dangerous, hopefully you didn't mind the jump cut, this is going to cause undue problems down here if I can't find a way to deal with it. Luckily, this deck does have a very special thing, which we haven't seen any of them yet. I believe it's the Pack 41 Gallic as well. A counterpoint to these Gallic 42 millimeters. Essentially, what the Germans used to designate Gallic as is just these squeeze bore adapters, essentially, where the gun itself is very, very high velocity. I believe the man who invented that was Gallic, and that's where the name comes from. So hopefully I can use those to attempt to deal with this, but as it stands, I don't think I've even seen this yet, which definitely isn't good. Fallschirmjäger, supported by this elephant, they can pretty much just march right up to the town as much as they want. But, once again here, the Gaelic firing while I'm dealing with everything on this right side. I'm trying to fall back. I'm, reacting to an elephant coming down. And a Gaelic is just shooting at my panthers here. And penetrating. There's a 42% chance or something. But, by God, taking shot after shot, and I haven't noticed. It's almost embarrassing. It only needs 1 or 2 more penetrations to get it. Luckily, it is bouncing, but K-18 actually smacking my howitzer. And that's the howitzer that still had ammunition in it. Unfortunately, the fatal flaw of the deck may now finally come to fruition, as I didn't bring any supply. But I've got an assault coming here. This area of the town is rather secure, and I should have done this a lot sooner. Panther does eventually go down to that galley. Absolutely terrible. And now another panther, which is damaged from the smacking fight-off I'd had over here with that panther, is driving almost in the exact same position. To receive the Pack 41 galley come out, and this is like my only hope here. Initially, what I did want to do is bring this kind of closer to here and then double team it with the pack. But as long as those Fallschirmjäger are sitting over there, that's not going to be a great idea. This Pack 41 Gaelic is also out of position, as long as this Fallschirmjäger here is still running around, as I will have to slowly move that to the other side. And because there's so much happening over here, less time to micro over here, another Gaelic, killing another 38T, and well, that just really shows the power of small, invisible, high penetration AT guns. The Pack 37 is actually a particular favorite. It doesn't quite have the range of something like the Pack 41 Gaelic over here. But at 750 meter range, they get a nice heat shell, which can very easily deal with mediums and such. Another Fallschirmjäger coming in. Pack 40 getting torn to shreds by Fallschirmjäger, and now out of position to help this Gaelic engage the elephant there. But another thing we have to worry about, Sturmpanzer 4. Another thing the 4th Fallschirmjäger has in spades to very much use itself. Found that smoking itself off there. Sturmpanzer 4, if it's engaging any kind of an AT gun, that's just gonna smack anything. As long as it sees that. Is Fogelwolf coming in, trying to get a bombing run. There's a bit of dispersion, but it just straight up misses as he doesn't see the target that he's shooting at, and falling back. Panzerschreck still running around here as the Sturmgruppe finally clean up the town. Very effective in the town, but they are quite low health, these Sturmgruppe squads. Panther once again has moved forward to try and prevent the Fallschirmjäger from cleaning up the town. And well, what do we have here? It's the same galley that I still haven't noticed, other than the fact that my Panther has gone down there. I'm thinking there's got to be some kind of an AT gun over here, right? But no, it's this damned galley in the town. Fallschirmjäger moving forward, preventing any hope of this galley from doing anything. I did move it forward, but yeah, that's... Fallschirmjäger deadly at that medium range. AT guns take extra damage from infantry. Double star. It's melted. Absolutely melted. Never stood a chance. And the lowly Pack 40 here being taken out by some kind of explosion. The Sturmpanzer 4 most likely. MG back here. And another double star Panther comes out. I mostly brought this out to deal with these, not less so much to deal with the elephant. I was hoping maybe in the future I could, sneak another AT gun into here. Perhaps maybe it's a bit too far for a Gaelic to get range. They do a 1500 meter range as a consequence of being that squeeze bore adapter. But a Pack 40 over here with a double star Panther over here should be able to clean that up. Onord, of course, too good for the micro. I move forward my 251-17D as the second Panther goes down while I was microing the Kikachin over there. Jeez, it's funny. Even in the replay, I can't catch these things dying. One of them died while showing front armor to this little pack. And I'm out of Panthers now. Letting those die, absolutely terrible mistake. Dual Tigers coming in. The writing's kind of on the wall here. We've entered phase C. Onord's definitely traded better than me. And yeah, another attempt. Stug trying to come in and kill that goddamn galley. Panzer idea basically evaporating though from that Pair de Assalto. Does go down, but with the Fallschirmjäger slowly reloading. Their MG ammo is depleted, so I guess I'll lose see another day. A small respite as the galley even kills the gorilla. Oh god, absolutely terrifying. But my performance here, a much better showing than my performance against El Bowser in the recent league tournament. Focke-Wulf missing. A8 coming in, or 8-6. Well microed again. Somehow, despite them both being Focke-Wulfs, much better turning circle on these than on the A6s. And one last bunch of Pioneers trying to create something out of nothing, essentially. I've got two Humus coming in. I wanted this one to target the AA, but I just defensive positioned ordered it. That doesn't quite show up here. While this one was trying to take out this mortar. You can see, did do some health damage, but that omnipresent retreat resilience shown itself again. As now both Humus are trying to finally focus down this AA, but not much to do. Pack 41 Gallic does come up here, will unload. APCR only, does less damage, but you can't argue with 240 penetration there as it gets that first shot. And the second. These might actually be worth bringing with like Vet 1. I believe you'd only lose one availability, and the rate of fire will definitely help with that. Sturmgruppe kills off the last Stug here. You know, little charge there. Not that it'll make too much of a difference. As the unvetted Pioneers blob up and try to accomplish something. But, as expected, the AS-42 that completely stomped my push earlier is going to stomp it again as unsupported infantry without AT rush forward. Now, I brought it on my Panzerschrecks over here, but in hindsight, I really should be doing what Onord's doing and kind of having them in the back here to help out with everything, with light armor and such as they're pushing. But these Panzerschrecks were intended to come and rush this elephant. But lo and behold, look at that. Two more Fallschirmjäger at the perfect time, coming in right when you need them, just to kill off all these transports as they're coming through. And with that, we basically see the writing on the wall. There's nothing more for us here. I see the writing on the wall. It's phase C. I've traded horribly. I've managed to, you know, hold on to the front, but which is something to say of itself versus Onord, but not quite a victory for me this time. More Fallschirmjäger and Fallschirm Pioneer coming in here. Very deadly at 3 stars. I wonder if there's no commander over here, so it looks like Onord brings his at 2-star veterancy all the time. Every single one of his Fallschirmjäger. I guess he very much values the DPS of those units. Though after the nerf, I'm not quite sure if that's worth it with a Fallschirm Pioneer. But the only really Fallschirm deck I play on the regular is first Fallschirm, which you kind of need them to be CQC units in, as you only get one card of Fallschirm Stoßtrupp. And Fallschirm Stoßtrupp, while amazing, 6 in A or 9 in B, it's not enough. So I take Fallschirm Pioneer unvetted there. Yeah, if I had a couple Panthers up here, I might still be able to continue playing. It's not looking too dire. I can maybe still make something work up here, but not going to pay off. My Homa is out of ammo now. Didn't manage to take down the Nag as I just blasted this hill. It's just retreated, and he's even brought up an 88 here. And I throw in the towel. No supply for these artillery pieces. Not much I can do. I only want one more kill. As another Pack 41 guy comes in. Pop. And there we go. 1,655 kills to 2,630 losses. And look at this. Just absolutely decimated. Oh, God. It's painful to look at. Yet still, a better showing than me versus El Bowser. And I would believe Onord is a better player than him. So, definitely a mistake to go first Fallschirm versus fourth Fallschirm in the league tournament. And this would be a much better division, but versus Onord and his deadly micro. I'm not sure if I stood too much of a chance here anyway. Definitely too passive this game, but really shows the power of the fourth Fallschirmjäger. So what's the lesson to take away from this? Is Großdeutschland a better matchup against fourth Fallschirmjäger than first Fallschirmjäger? Yes, definitely. I did a lot more this time than I did in the previous round, but not enough to carry me to the victory. And really, fourth Fallschirmjäger, bit OP, I think. So, with that, thank you for watching, and goodbye.